Hello, welcome aboard. Nigel with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and it's a lovely, bright and sunny and very warm Saturday, the 11th of May 2024. Too hot for airbrushing, I think, so thought I'd do a review. So here we go. It's not a review of this. This is the Kotare Spitfire Mark 1A mid. You can also get the early, and there's a Mark 5 on the way as well. I'm sure they'll send me one of those, so you'll see that kit. I've also done a review of the early. But what I'm reviewing now is something that everybody has always asked for. And by the way, when I think of it, this kit has actually won a Kit of the Year award. Now, I don't know what award it is. I don't know if it's just New Zealand or what, or just some particular wing of the IPMS, or I don't know. But I've just remembered, I remember reading that this kit has won the Kit of the Year award in some category. So I've always said this is a very, very beautiful kit. But lots of people have moaned that it has no engine. So Fischkopp have come to the rescue, and here are the parts. Now this is not the packaging you get. It comes in a cardboard box all wrapped up nicely, but I took one out of the cardboard box and put it into this takeaway container for security. It's much better than a cardboard box. So in here we have some beautifully printed 3D parts, okay, and you can see here that there's lots and lots of bits and pieces in here, and we'll have a look at them one by one when we get it out. There's some that have come off. The Chris over at Fischkopp, he uses very small contact points, so the parts do often come off of their block, which is a shame, but it also makes them very easy to remove. So there we go, that box is empty. We can put the bubble wrap in there. So that's what you're getting in your kit. It has no instructions with it, although you can download the instructions. But I'm going to show you, the instructions are basically two images with a couple of words. So rather than go to the trouble of downloading and everything, what you could do is just screenshot what I'm about to show you now. So the first one is showing you that you have to modify the bulkhead. So this bulkhead here has wing mounting detail on it, as you can see there, and what Chris is asking you to do is just remove those and file a little bit off the bottom of the bulkhead there to line up with the fuselage and everything. This is very much a sort of short run set. It's by no means all comprehensive with big jangly colour diagrams and all that. It's not a gas patch. This is a short run but beautifully made little set, and you've got to have some modelling experience to use it. But it is very, very nice indeed, as you'll see in a minute. The other part of the instructions are the simple, the way you have to cut the fuselage, and the image he's showing you, I'll put up now, is basically looking at the inside of the port half of the fuselage, and you can see there's a couple of notes there. So what we're doing, if you turn the fuselage over, you can see this is what you're looking at in that image. If you turn the fuselage over, you can see there is a line here to cut to, and you've also got that little notch there, and you've got to cut this bit here as well. So you're going to cut through there. I would say scribe through a few times and then snap it off, or cut through the swirl and then sand it, whatever. I may well do this, I don't know, we shall see. I've got so much on my plate. But basically you've got to cut that off there, file that little lump out of there, and that's going to be our fuselage then sorted. Same on the other side, clearly. And also we need to remove some material from inside of the fuel tank cover here. Okay, and then that bulkhead will fit up in there. I'm not sure if I can get it in there without taking things off the sprue. No, I can't. But you can see that that bulkhead is going to go up into there. Okay. If you have the Airfix 124 Spitfire Mark 9, you could use that as reference for where all this goes. I would imagine this is going to go in, and these holes you can see on the edge of here. You have some very, very fine holes around the edge. Yeah. They're going to protrude, so I would imagine the fuselage is going to be sort of sitting up to the edge of those holes, so that's where that's going to glue in. You also have here the engine bearer, which are going to go into the bulkhead, so you've got holes in the bulkhead where the engine bearer goes. Okay, and we've also got we have holes. Hang on a minute, I'm just trying to see where the engine bearer. He's actually made this. It is exactly like the real thing. What you've actually got on here is a flange. There's no holes and pins. You've got a flange. If you want to build your Spitfire into a stripped down engine remove diorama, this is going to be ideal for you, because when you take the engine bearer off, okay, so you're going to have the engine there in its bearer hanging on a crane, say off the back of a truck. What you're going to be left with is a bulkhead with these flanges on, exactly like the real thing. Okay, and then the back of your engine bearer has got exactly like the real thing again. You've got these little flanges on here that are going to go over those. It's basically like this, and with a pin through. And they've actually given you that, so you could actually, you know, if you had the Tamiya kit or whatever, it's going to have holes. You can have great big pins on the back of here and holes in the bulkhead. This is made precisely as the real thing, so very, very nice indeed. You've also got locations on here for, there's the oil tank. Unfortunately, one of my pins has got broken off. There's this little tank that goes on the top, and that is basically going to fit into those holes in there. All right, and then you've got the you've got a little cylinder of some sort there. There's something else here. I'm not sure what they are. And there's also on this, you can see where those parts have broken off here. And you've got it's like a coil or something, and there's some little tiny bits there. I'm guessing they're little holders for this little cylindrical piece here. So not only is he giving you the chance to have that beautiful detail on the bulkhead, you could also have the mounting hardware without that as well, so you could have that removed. Very, very thoughtfully done. And then over here we have this is the bottom of the oil tank. You know, they have this big oil tank slung under the engine, sort of sitting down here in this area here, or is it up here? I can't remember now. But that's going to go in. So you've got the bottom half of it there, so you can see we've got all the lovely pressed detail on there. Okay, I don't know what that shiny bit is on there, but that's, you've got all the rivet detail on there as well, which is very, very nice indeed. Bring the light to the side again so we get a shadow, so you should be able to see the detail on there. There we go. Very, very nicely done. You can see all the fastener detail on the access port at the front there. And then we've also got, this is the top of the oil tank, so again you've got all the lovely detail on there, so that's just going to glue onto the top. It's micro thin, very, very thin indeed. Okay, and then over here we have this is the big tank that goes around the front, and you can see that's attached to this tube that goes all the way back to the firewall, and that's going to go through one of those holes in the bottom there. Okay, so there's that big, that's copper, isn't it, that pipe? That's going to go around there, and then you've got the other side here. Okay, so that's attached to that, so that's going to go through, and then I'm guessing I can't see where that other pipe goes. I'm guessing it's going to go on the side of the engine here somewhere, because that's going to basically be like that. So yeah, I'm sure it'll all, unless I've got a part missing, I'm going to go and check my parts a second, and we'll come back. Okay, so yeah, I have all the parts here, so you could look at what I've got here. I have nothing missing at all. It does look like perhaps this little tank here has broken off of those tabs. So although I said they were separate, it looks like they should still be together. But it's not an issue. This is very common with resin parts. They do break very easily. The beauty of them when they do break, unlike styrene bends before it breaks, so it's impossible to get back together nicely. Resin just snaps, so you just glue it back on. In fact, one of the parts on here, yeah, this one here was snapped off, leaving that very vulnerable, so I've literally glued it back on. Okay, you can see things snap easily. I think Chris could make these bases a bit stronger, a bit thicker. I have mentioned it to him in the past. And with the dam buster set, I know he's sort of making it all on one solid block now, very much like KA models do. But this is beautifully done, this engine. I mean, you can see here, very, very well supported. It's going to take a bit of care to get it off. But, you know, pair of cutters, it'll come off easily. You can see you've got all the pipe work and all the cabling on there, moulded on. You've got the Rolls Royce, if you want that on there, you can file off if not. You've got the secondary ignition harness in the top there. You can see the magnetos on the sides with cabling and everything in them, and then all the detail on the bottom. Stupid me, that pipe that I was thinking of that going to the oil tank, isn't it? Of course, duh. And you've got a supercharger detail on the back there as well, and now the intake detail on the bottom. So it's a beautiful bit of kit, really really nice bit of kit, and it's going to look lovely sat in the front of your Kotare Spitfire. So and then here we have the this is the framework with the heat shields for the exhaust, and you can see how fine and flimsy that is. But if you can pull this off, if you can make this work, you will have an absolutely stunning model, because the Kotare Spitfire in itself, you know, you can see the detail on the skin, the overlapping panels, the raised rivets. It's just the best Spitfire on the market, I think. It's absolutely beautiful. So with all that beautiful detail and all this beautiful detail hanging out the front of it, it's just going to look stunning. This is not for the faint-hearted, this is not for the beginner, and this is not for your first resin project. I think I would struggle to do this. I'll really pull it off nicely. But as I say, if you want to do a diorama, that would be amazing for that, because you could build the engine up. You could have these, I'm not sure how these came off, if they came off with the engine as a big sort of capsule. I know with the Lancaster it all just came off as one and then it all went back on as one. I'm not sure if the Spitfire was like that. But you could, I mean, it just, if you know your Spitfires, you'll know what to do. And you can imagine having that engine sat in those engine bearers with that hanging on a crane off the back of a truck or something, or even sat in the back of a truck. I don't know, it would just look amazing, wouldn't it? I've just noticed there's canning on there as well. I don't know if that's intentional, but it is there. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's just so fine, all the detail. I'll look at this one again. It's hard to see what's going on with all the supports in there, but you can see that is basically going to sit on that bulkhead. As I say, you're going to need to know your stuff. But that's going to sit in there like that. So you can see how that's going to look. You can see the shape of this fire there already. Okay, so there we go. The cost of this is €49.53, which seems a bit weird, doesn't it? I'll put a link down below where you can get it from, or his Facebook address where you can contact him, and then you can go from there. But I would, if you're not faint-hearted and you think you can pull this off, I would thoroughly recommend it. And if you've done one, if you'd like to send me the pictures, I would love to see it, because I would love to see how this looks when it's all together and painted up nicely and everything, because it is exquisitely detailed and you don't need to add anything. I mean, you could add some cables or whatever if you wanted to, but you don't really need to. I mean, you can see here, I've just noticed from this cam drive here, you can see that pipe. There's a pipe going down in behind there. It must be about 0.4 millimeters diameter. You know, it's going all the way down here. Oh, the pipe work down here as well. It's just stunning. You've got a pipe coming down here off the cooling jacket, and that's hollow. You can get, you know, it's not like a moulded on block. It is beautiful. You could perhaps buy 4 of these for your Lancasters, but it's gorgeous. It really is gorgeous. Now you'll also notice here that it doesn't come with any engine covers. I think that's because the Kotare kit already has them. So if you are doing a dio, you could actually put these face down and they'll look absolutely fine. You could thin the edges out a bit. You can see they've already thinned out the edge around the exhaust here. Or you could just completely sand the back down and thin them down. Or you could take the mould off your Spitfire parts, but then this is Mark 1, not 9. 9 is longer, isn't it? So yeah, very nice indeed. That raised and recessed rivet detail is stunning. It's going to look incredible, guys. Absolutely, it will be, you know, get some resin wheels, get some resin exhausts, you know, harnesses, that's it. You have a beautiful Kotare Spitfire, and then if you really want to take it that step further, get this. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon. As I say, I'll put a link in the description down below this video where you'll be able to find out more about this. You can get it from contact Chris and he'll send you all the information. So thank you for watching. As I say, I'll see you all soon. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe just there, and you'll get and you hit notifications bell as well. You'll get notified of when videos are coming. Okay, I'm currently working on the Border Models Lancaster nose, where I'm converting it onto the Hong Kong models. Got that one here, done some work on that. And for the Winged Up Wings Wednesday, I'm working on this little Fokker E4, and this seam is proving to be a Fokker, I can tell you. That is a complete and utter Fokker. Right, so there we go. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.